Hello, everybody. It's me, Evelyn. The girl who got shot 3 times in the head and stabbed back here in the neck. Uh, so, actually, about 2 weeks ago, there was the verdict on my case. So, my case is now closed. Therefore, I feel that it is safe, I guess, to go and speak out about it. There's a lot of misinformation going around, let me tell you. Like, comments on the videos and everybody telling me I'm stupid, people telling me all this, people coming into my personal messages, DMing me on Instagram, attacking me. And now, it's not everybody that's attacking me, let me tell you. There is a lot of support that I have gotten over these years. I know that it is time for an update, and so I apologize for this terrible fucking quality. So first what I wanted to do is I wrote a small amount of notes, but I'm going to be terrible at this whole thing. I'll learn to edit eventually. Maybe somebody can teach me how. Anyway, so the early days. I wanted to start with why I moved to Texas in the first place. Let's see. May of 2016, I graduated high school. Now, from 16 to 17, which was this year, I lived completely alone. My dad knew where I was living, but he had moved out of our house. He went to go live with his wife. It's a whole thing. But my father and I have always had a shaky relationship. So I was staying in an apartment that he was paying for by myself. We had originally been living there together. After that lease was up and I was graduated with high school, I had nowhere to go. I had about $200 to my name. I had a job, but it only paid me about $7.75 an hour at that point because I was still underage. So I was able to make under the legal minimum wage of $8.25. Now, because I had nowhere to go, I was very desperate. I was talking to friends, figuring out where I could go. I was hopping from couch to couch. Friends were letting me stay with them. But I knew that this wasn't ideal, especially because I wanted to go to college. So I started talking to my friend that I'm not going to name any names, but I had this friend that I had known, well, now for 11 years, but at that point, I think it was like 7 or 8. And he was living down in Texas with a friend of his. And so he said, hey, you can come live with me and my friend, rent-free, and then start a new life here. Now, as a kid, I had a hard time in high school. I was always bullied. I grew up very poor. So I was like, fuck it. I'm going to start my new life and everything's going to be great. But I was only 17 at that time. So I hopped on a plane and I got myself over there. Now, everything was good in the beginning, but my friend's friend started to have a crush on me, and I did not do things properly. I did make mistakes around that time as well, but this was also the time that I was introduced to Dallas. He was actually my good friend for 8 years, friend's cousin. So, we were always hanging out, and I thought he was cute, and, stupid ass me, like an ugly fucking men. So, we started talking, and, I liked the guy, so we were hanging out and everything. And I decided to move in with the guy, which I know now is a very dumb decision. But mind you, I was 17. I moved to Texas July of 2016, and I got shot November of 2016. My 18th birthday was August of that same year. So, I was still a teenager, fresh out of school, yada, yada. Now, when I started living with Dallas, he lived in a bad part of Fort Worth, Riverside. If you know anything about Fort Worth area, but, it was whatever. It was poor, but, we made do. He started teaching me how to drive. We're all good. We never, ever, ever once fought in our relationship. We hung out all the time. I made him food. It was good times, I guess. Now, when we were together, he had a lot of problems. He had a lot of anger issues. Everyone was telling me he had anger issues, and I did see these anger issues come out, but it was never towards me. I've always been, or I've always had, major depressive disorder. So I was on medicine, and, he didn't believe in all that. So he tried to get me off of the medicine, yada, yada. But this motherfucker was over here telling me that he was hearing voices. I can't diagnose him or anything, but, at the time I was like, well, I didn't think much of it. Now, we were living together and it was fine, but around that time, supposedly, I actually have this whole list right here, which is full of abnormalities. Abnormalities of weird things concerning my case that still, to this day, I'm not satisfied with and I still think are weird. And actually, December, like mid-December-ish, he was sentenced. He was sentenced to 10 years probation for shooting me, stabbing me, taking away my vision permanently. I will never see properly again. I have good central vision, but I have no peripherals. I cannot drive. I had to go through I'm still in thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of debt because I got shot 4 months after my 18th birthday. So guess what? That went to my credit, which is good. I'm still trying to fucking catch up from that. So, see, I don't even know. I want to update you guys, but I cannot, for the life of me, keep any of this straight. And by keeping it straight, I mean it's very hard to speak. I don't know if you know, but I have major PTSD now from it, so it's very hard to speak about what had happened. And I want to get this video out, but I keep stumbling, and it's very hard to talk about, so I might have to do this in spurts. So I'm going to try and upload this one right now to give, the whole backstory of why I moved and what had happened. My father and I, we never really had a great relationship. I know all over on the videos, people are saying, oh, you should have stayed with your father. Your father loved you so much, and it's very frustrating because nobody knows, nobody knows me, nobody knows the true story, nobody knows what happened. I know that I made mistakes, but I know for a fact that I was always faithful, I was always truthful, and I do not think that no matter what I did, I deserve to get shot in the head. This is going to affect me for the rest of my fucking life. So I'm going to stop this one right now. And I'm going to try and upload different parts once I get it all situated, because I literally only wrote 2 lines of notes. This isn't very well thought out, and I would like to read some of the abnormalities concerning the case before and after, because I feel like it's very important. And I know people care. People are still making videos about me to this day. And I'm an open book. Sometimes people message me and, I send them long things, but I'm tired. I'm tired of, rewriting it out. So I'd like to direct people to a playlist somewhere. So I'm hoping that's what I'm going to do with this series. I might have to break it up, though, because it is very hard to speak about these things. It's hard to keep myself. It's hard to get out what I want to get out effectively. I'm also a full-time college student. I'm trying to work. It's very hard because of my disability. So, life's hard, but life goes on. And, if anyone ever wants to talk, let me know. I'm here. I got some, don't stay, in an abusive situation. Of course, I was never abused by him up until he shot me. And the only reason why I know it was for a fact that he shot me is because, 8 months after the fact, the forensic evidence came back and showed that he had gunshot residue on his hands. So I have a lot to say about this. So, I'm going to upload this, and it's very terrible and very choppy, but it is what it is.